Honey, I just realized something important.
Hey, what's up?
We haven't bought Miley's Christmas present yet, have we?
Oh, that's it. I thought something was seriously wrong for a second. Aren't you at work right now? Is it okay for you to be on your phone?
I'm on my lunch break, so no worries. It just hit me this morning. I realized we haven't thought about what to get her for Christmas yet. Work's been so busy, I totally forgot.
Well, we still have some time, so there's no need to rush.
I wonder what she wants.
I'll ask her later.
Wait, are you going to ask her directly?
I shouldn't?
Wouldn't that take the fun out of it? How about letting her write a letter to Santa or something?
Seriously? Don't think that's necessary.
She still believes in Santa, right? If we ask her what she wants, she might think it's weird.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'll just tell her I'll let Santa know.
It feels like it's losing the magic. When I was a kid, I wrote letters to Santa every year.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was when I was in 1st or 2nd grade. My parents told me, if I wanted something, I have to write a letter to Santa. So I took it seriously.
That's adorable. What did you ask for?
I remember in 1st grade, I really wanted a superhero transformation belt. I was obsessed with superhero stuff and just had to have it.
Oh, I totally get it. Every boy back then wanted one of those belts.
Exactly. I wrote the letter meticulously, with large letters to make it easier for Santa to read, and even drew a picture of the belt I wanted.
Oh, I can totally picture that. So did it reach him?
Of course. On Christmas morning, the exact thing was under the tree, and I was over the moon. I was convinced Santa was real after that.
That must have been so exciting. But you really believed he brought it?
Yeah, for a while. Every time I wrote a letter and got what I asked for, I was so grateful to him.
Now that's pretty sweet. So typical of you.
But eventually I figured it out. One day I started thinking maybe it wasn't Santa. Maybe it was my parents.
Oh yeah, I remember that moment too. It's kind of a shock when you realize it.
Even so, the act of writing the letter and asking for something felt really special. That's why I want to keep that magic alive for Miley.
I get that, but she's only 4. She can't even write properly yet, and honestly, she probably won't remember all this when she's older.
That might be true. I guess asking her directly is probably the easiest way.
Exactly. That's the surest way to go. At her age, what she wants changes all the time.
It's hard to decide, huh? Maybe we should just buy everything.
That's a bit over the top, don't you think?
The things she want are cute compared to what you ask for. It's just stuffed animals or some toy.
A few gifts is more than enough for a 4-year-old. Well, I'm an adult, so naturally I ask for something a little more extravagant for Christmas.
Your present is the scariest one for me. Please, be kind to my wallet, okay?
But hey, it's rare to be on top of it. You're usually so indifferent to this kind of stuff. I didn't expect you to bring up Christmas first this year. Last year you waited until the last minute to buy gifts, remember?
Well, this morning when I was getting ready to head out, Miley said that Santa had already visited our house. That's what reminded me it's that time of year.
Huh? Santa visited us?
Yeah, I couldn't find my razor in its usual spot, and while I was looking for it, she suddenly said, Santa used it.
What? That's kind of creepy. You know I'm terrible with scary stuff.
Creepy? I thought it was adorable. I mean, just imagine Santa Claus shaving in our bathroom. That's hilarious.
If it was him, yeah, it's kind of cute. But what if it was a stranger or ghost? You know how they say little kids can see things we can't?
Oh, relax. There's no such thing as a ghost that needs to shave.
You never know. Kids are supposed to have a strong sixth sense. Maybe she's seen something.
That's just an old wives' tale. She's just got a vivid imagination, that's all.
But still, I've heard stories, you know. Like how a friend's kid once pointed to an empty corner of the room and said, Grandpa's over there.
Oh, that's seriously freaky.
Right? And another kid out of nowhere started crying in the middle of the night, saying someone had come into his room. His parents were terrified. I swear, little kids can see things that we can't.
I didn't need to hear this, but maybe it's just dreams or their imagination.
Who knows? Anyway, did you manage to find the razor?
Yeah, it was put back on a different shelf. I bet you're the one who put it there by mistake.
Yeah, probably. Oh, right. I cleaned the bathroom sink yesterday.
I wonder what kind of world Miley sees. Maybe she's seeing fairies or something. I wonder if I was like that as a kid too.
I bet. We just forget when we grow up.
It's strange though. So many things must have happened when we were kids, but we can't remember any of it.
And that's just how it is. Even as adults, we can't remember everything from our college days, right? I can't even recall the names of my classmates anymore. We used to hang out every day, but it's weird how we forget.
Humans are just built to forget, I guess. Oh, but we do remember the things that really stand out. I still clearly remember the time I got lost as a kid.
That must have been traumatizing for you, huh?
Yeah, I got separated from my mom at the mall, and when I realized it, I wasn't in the toy section anymore. I was in the furniture shop. I still remember how scared I felt, all alone in that forest of furniture.
That must have been scary. The furniture shop is like a maze, right? That probably made it even worse.
Exactly. The sofas and tables suddenly looked massive, like I was trapped in a maze. In the end, I was walking around crying until a store employee found me and helped me out.
Oh, I would have cried too. I got lost once when I was a kid, and all I remember is screaming my head off.
Wait, you got lost too? Where?
It happened at a supermarket. I was with my mom, but I looked away for a second and suddenly found myself clinging to a stranger's shopping cart.
That's pretty funny. But I bet you were terrified at the time.
I was. The person turned around with this "who is this kid" look on her face, and I just panicked. I ended up screaming, "Mom," and my mom came rushing over as soon as she heard me.
That sounds like it could have been traumatizing.
Yeah, maybe. But the moment she hugged me, I stopped crying right away. Looking back, I feel like I overreacted, but at the time, it felt like the world was ending.
The smallest things felt so huge when we were kids.
Totally. Oh, I should put Miley down for her nap now. She's already dozing off.
Okay. Ask her about the gift when she wakes up. I'll be home at the usual time. Honey, I have to work late tonight, so don't wait for me, okay? Sorry for the short notice.
Oh no, working late? I've already started cooking dinner. You should have told me sooner. I plan things around our schedule too, you know.
I'm really sorry. I was actually planning to come home earlier than usual today, but I got an emergency SOS from a client.
SOS? What happened?
Our project's deadline is tomorrow, and suddenly the client requested a big change to the specs. It's a pretty major change, and now we have to review everything, from part of the design to the system.
Oh no, they're asking for such a huge change this late in the game?
Exactly. There were some vague parts in the original specs, so it's understandable to a degree, but it's still tough to get a change like this at the last minute. One of my colleagues is in charge, but there's no way he'll finish by the end of the day by himself.
Now that sounds rough, but is it really necessary for you to help out?
If he works alone, he'll definitely be pulling an all-nighter, and if any mistakes happen, we might miss the deadline. Plus, he's still pretty inexperienced, so he was totally panicking about how to handle a change this big.
I guess you can't just leave him hanging in that situation.
Exactly. When I was a newbie, I had colleagues help me out in similar situations, so I want to pay it forward and give him a hand.
Alright, I get it. We'll probably be asleep by the time you get back, so come in quietly, okay?
Got it. Oh, by the way, about Miley, don't you think she's been acting a little strange lately?
What do you mean? She seems the same as always to me.
Well, I don't know. She just seems kinda out of it lately. She looks sleepy all the time.
She's always ready to fall asleep at any moment. Sometimes she reminds me of a cat.
Yeah, but it's like she's been extra spacey when I talk to her lately, and she doesn't seem as energetic as usual. Remember how last night she was dropping her food everywhere at dinner and looked like she was going to doze off?
Kids her age fall asleep mid-meal sometimes. It's pretty normal for her to make a mess while eating too.
You think so? Maybe I'm overthinking it.
I think you are. I'm with her all the time and I haven't noticed anything different.
Sometimes when you're around someone all the time, you don't notice small changes. Plus that whole thing with her talking about Santa still has me thinking.
Please, don't bring that up again. You know I'm scared of stuff like that.
I'm not trying to scare you. It's just that she keeps mentioning Santa randomly in conversations, and it's weirding me out. If she says she saw Santa on Christmas Day, that'd be a cute story and all, but it's not even Christmas yet. Santa's a bit ahead of schedule.
Everywhere is already decorated for Christmas, and even the supermarket we go to has Santa showing up for events. So I think she's just influenced by all that.
Yeah, but she's saying Santa came to our house.
She's been watching a lot of YouTube videos with Santa in them lately. I'm sure she's just super excited for Christmas.
For kids, it's the most exciting event of the year.
I mean, everywhere you go right now, you see Santa Claus, right? If you walk around town, you'll see people dressed in Santa suits in malls. And there are tons of photo events, too.
Yeah, you're right. Around Christmas, you see Santa everywhere.
Exactly. And on the shows she watches, like on TV or YouTube, there are even more Christmas-related ads and programs this time of year. Scenes with Santa handing out presents or decorating Christmas trees, things that get kids really excited. Even in the supermarket, Christmas songs are playing, and there are posters in the toy section saying, "Ask Santa for your gifts." For kids, it's like the whole month is a Christmas countdown.
Yeah, but it still bugs me that she says Santa came before Christmas even arrived.
I think she's just so excited for his visit that she probably dreamed about it. Oh, you know how kids sometimes mix up dreams with reality, right? So she probably really believes it.
A dream, huh? But I'm still worried about her health. I really think we should take her to the doctor.
And the doctor? Isn't that a bit of an overreaction? I'm with her all the time and she's fine.
Wait, this is the same you who usually rushes her to the doctor at the first sign of a sniffle.
I know, but this time I'm sure she's okay.
You took her to the doctor right away when she had a little cough, remember?
Yeah, but that time she had a fever and I was really worried. And remember the other day when she said her stomach hurt in the middle of the night? We took her to the ER right away.
Yeah, that ended up being just constipation, but you handled it like a pro.
Well, better safe than sorry, right? Kids can get sick so suddenly, so I always think it's better to be cautious.
Exactly. But this time you're not worried at all?
She's her usual energetic self, and I haven't noticed anything unusual.
But she's clearly been zoning out more lately, hasn't she?
I really don't think it's something that warrants a trip to the doctor. She doesn't have a fever, and she's eating just fine. I'm with her all the time, so if I say she's okay, there's no need to worry.
Okay.
By the way, have you been able to find any of her gift ideas yet?
I'll check out the toy stores by the end of this week. I couldn't find some of it at the store I went to yesterday.
If you don't find it all this week, I'll order it online, even if it's a bit more expensive.
Got it.
And don't forget my present, too.
Of course. I got that covered.
Okay, good luck with work. I'll put your dinner in the fridge.
Honey, I need to talk to you. You're home right now, aren't you?
What's up, hon? I'm busy with Miley right now.
You're too busy to even answer the phone?
I really can't step away right now. She just spills her juice everywhere. Her clothes and the rug are soaked. And I'm dealing with a mess. If you need something, just text me.
If it's that bad, why don't you ask the guy in the red suit next to you for help?
What? What are you talking about?
You're with Santa right now, aren't you?
Are you trying to scare me again? I told you to stop with those jokes.
I'm not talking about a story or some fantasy. I'm talking about real life.
I don't understand.
You keep glancing around, don't you?
How?
How do I know? Because I've been watching you the whole time.
What do you mean? Wait, are you at home right now?
No, I'm not at home.
Then how are you?
I'm watching through the camera. Who's the guy standing next to you?
What? Camera?
It's the monitoring camera. I picked it up when I went to the toy store the other day.
At the toy store? You mean like a toy camera for kids or something?
No, it's a real camera. There was a section in the store for parenting gadgets. And they have baby monitors and cameras for young children. I wasn't planning on buying one, but with Miley constantly talking about Santa visiting our house, it got me curious. So I picked one up. It connects to the network and I can watch live footage on my phone. It even records automatically if it detects movement, so if anything happens, I can check it later.
What the heck? That sounds like a surveillance camera.
Yeah, it's an app on my phone that lets me see what's going on in real time. It works during the day and even at night with infrared, so I can see perfectly in the dark too.
You're telling me you set up this serious camera without telling me?
I'm sorry for doing it without telling you, but I've been so bothered by Miley saying Santa keeps coming to the house. I couldn't shake the feeling.
But still, going this far?
I started noticing her acting differently ever since she began talking about Santa, and I didn't want to tell you because I knew it would freak you out. Maybe I even found the idea of it being a ghost kind of funny, but I never expected that the guy in the red suit would actually be in our house. Turns out he was the real Santa, after all.
Honey, no, it's not like that. There was a huge bug in the house. I called an exterminator in a hurry to take care of it, that's all.
You called an exterminator for a bug?
You know I've always hated them. I panic when I see one, and I can't even get close to them.
Is it that bad? I never got the impression it bothered you that much.
I've just been hiding it. The other day when I saw a roach in the kitchen, I almost screamed, but I held it in because Miley was there.
But still, it seems strange. I was watching the whole time through the camera. Did you really need to kiss the exterminator after he got rid of the bug?
No, it's not what it looks like. I'm sorry.
I don't know what's not what it looks like, but just don't move. I'm already at the front of the house. Even if that guy tries to run, I'll catch him. Don't do anything stupid.
Honey, please answer the phone. When are you coming back home?
Maybe this Sunday.
Finally, a response. I've been waiting for you to reply this whole time. You wouldn't answer my calls or texts. Please, we need to talk properly.
That's why I'm coming to talk.
You're bringing Miley back with you, right?
Oh, I didn't say it right. I'm not coming home. I'm just coming over to talk. She's not coming.
I haven't seen her in days.
Don't worry, she's staying with my parents and she's doing just fine.
That can't be true. I'm her mother. She must be missing me.
No, actually, she's been happier than ever. She's away from the mom who was forcing sleeping pills on her.
I'm really sorry for that, but I only gave them to her so she wouldn't wake up.
You gave her sedatives so she wouldn't see your affair? If you hadn't cheated in the first place, you wouldn't have needed to drug her. She's only 4 years old.
But she kept talking to you about Santa, and I didn't know what else to do.
The fact that drugging her was your solution is terrifying. It's as bad as hitting her. No, it might be even worse.
But I made sure to break it up into smaller doses, considering her weight. That's why she sometimes woke up halfway through.
But on the day your affair was exposed, you gave her more than usual, didn't you? She didn't wake up for hours.
You took her to the hospital, right? They said there were no lasting effects.
No, there weren't. But I thought my heart was going to stop. I stood there shaking her, and she wouldn't wake up. How could you do something like that to your own daughter?
I'm truly sorry for what I did to her, but I was going to end things with him before Christmas.
Telling me you were planning to end it doesn't change anything now.
I already told you when you found out. It was just a casual fling for both of us.
So, how did you even meet him?
It was through an app.
An app? Like a dating app?
Yeah, I was feeling stressed out from taking care of the house and Miley, and at first, I just wanted someone to talk to. Back then, you were always busy with work, coming home late, and when you were home, you'd fall asleep right away. You had no idea how I was feeling, did you?
I was busy, sure. But that's why you turned to another guy?
That wasn't my intention at first. Really, I just wanted someone to talk to. When we started messaging, I felt lighter with every conversation. At first, we just met for coffee. I felt guilty, but talking to him made me feel like I could escape from the stress of daily life.
And then it just kept going from there, huh?
Yeah, before I knew it, we had become more than just friends.
To the point where you were bringing him into our house while I was away.
I'm sorry.
Miley thought the guy was Santa because she happened to see him wearing a red outfit that day, didn't she? And then you lied, telling her Santa came to visit the house. After that, whenever he came over, he wore red. You shattered her innocent imagination.
We both knew it had to end by Christmas because he's married too. We promised each other we wouldn't ruin our families. We both agreed that Christmas is meant to be spent with family.
So you're telling me I should forgive you because you planned to end it?
I know you can't forgive me right now, but I just feel so miserable. I never wanted to destroy our family, honestly.
But in the end you did. You betrayed both Miley's and my trust.
I'm really, really sorry. I want to be with you and Miley. I know it was such a thoughtless thing to do, having the affair, but you two are what really matters to me.
If we truly mattered to you, you wouldn't have had the affair. And you definitely wouldn't have drugged our daughter. I'm filing for divorce.
No, I don't want that. I'm begging you. I'll never cheat again. I'll never do anything to hurt either of you.
If it was just the affair, maybe I could have considered trying to rebuild things. I don't think you're a completely bad person. You gave birth to Miley and you've been raising her. There's no denying that.
Honey.
But you drugged our precious daughter, and it was so you could have the guy in the house. I know you planned these meetups during her nap time, but forcing her to sleep with medication isn't the same as letting her naturally nap. That's why she's been so spaced out and not herself lately.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry doesn't fix this. I might have been able to move past the affair, but what you did to her? If it had just been the affair, that would have been easier to deal with. I wish I had noticed sooner. Then she wouldn't have been harmed.
But she thinks it was Santa, and she'll forget this when she's older, right? I promise I'll be a good wife and mom from now on. So please, come home. Just one more chance. I don't want a divorce. I want to be there to watch Miley grow up.
Then you shouldn't have had the affair and drugged her in the first place. Don't you realize you've already done something you can't undo? Or are you just waiting for Miley to forget about Santa, so we can pretend this whole thing never happened too?
That's not what I mean.
It sure sounds like it. Just because childhood memories fade doesn't mean what you did is excusable. Even if she forgets the details, the emotions she felt during those times will stay with her forever.
I'm truly sorry. What can I do to make this right? I don't want a divorce. I can't stand the thought of living apart from you and Miley.
I've been asking myself the same thing. How can I ever forgive you? But no matter how much I think about it, I can't find an answer. Why did you cheat? Why did you drug Miley? These two questions keep going around and around in my head.
I'm sorry. Please, give me a chance. I'll never betray you again. I won't hurt Miley ever again.
Before you cheated, I wish you had thought about us, about our family. You didn't just betray me. You tarnished something as precious as Santa, a memory that's supposed to be special for Miley. I can't start over with a mother who cheated and drugged her own child. What you did to us is what scares me the most.
Please, Trevor. Don't leave me alone.
What are you talking about? You've still got Santa, who comes even when it's not Christmas.
I told you I'm ending it with him.
Whether you stay with him or leave him, it doesn't matter to me anymore. There's no chance of us staying married. Goodbye. Megan showed up at my parents' house, begging them to let her see Miley and me. But my parents coldly turned her away, and eventually, we finalized our divorce. Naturally, I got custody of Miley. I also demanded hefty compensation and child support. The wife of the other guy found out about the affair, and he's now in a messy divorce. With no income of her own, Megan ended up buried in debt. She initially tried to turn to her own parents for help, but they were also outraged by the fact that she drugged their granddaughter. Now, she's working a live-in job, struggling every day to pay off her debts. As for Miley and me, we moved in with my parents. Miley has become healthier and more cheerful, enjoying her time playing with her grandparents. The only thing I still worry about is the possibility that Megan's actions have left her with a deep fear of Santa Claus. I just hope she can forget about her mother's affair partner soon. I'm determined to give her a Christmas full of joy, with me, my parents, and her, making happy memories together.